Welcome everybody to the 2020 Audi A5 Sportback. This is the coupe with the Practicality added back into it. And this is quite an interesting vehicle, as I was personally a bit dismissive of the A5 Sportback. Didn't really get it when you have something like the A4 and the A4 Allroad all available to you at a very similar price point, which we'll talk about later on in this video as well. But I have come to appreciate this vehicle that has been lent out to me for a few days by Glenmore Audi. All of their information is here on the screen right now. If you want to test out this exact vehicle, it's in their demo fleet. So if this is the kind of vehicle you're looking for, stop by their dealership on Richard Way and give it a go. Now, this A5 Sportback I'm going to compare against other premium compact sports sedans that I've been able to test out, and also throw it into the coupe category as well. So watch through this video, and at the end I'll place it in my ranking system to see where it compares against its main competition. The Audi A5 comes standard with a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It has 248 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. Of course, it comes standard with Quattro all-wheel drive, and for the 2021 model year, we've been told that they will be updating this power plant to include the mild hybrid technology that we've seen on some of the higher end of Audi's flagship models. So if that's something that's important to you, wait a little bit longer until we get some pricing information and some more info in general regarding that future model. But if you're shopping for a new Audi A5, what the 2020 models come with is a new look on the outside and an updated infotainment system. So the most notable things to show off on the outside of the new A5s and the A4s as well is the new LED matrix light here that are standard on the A5. There's a little bit of a 3 dent into the grille that you'll see across many other Audi models right now, and these silver elements in the corner of the bumpers. But really what I think is going to be the most noticeable difference to buyers is the 10.1-inch screen that we have inside. This is the same screen that comes off of other Audi flagship models like the Q8, the A8, A7, so on. They've taken it out, placed it up on here, and it has all of the same graphics, the same user interface as what it does in those flagships. So it's nice to see that some of the higher end pieces of equipment are finding their way down into the middle playing field of Audi's smaller vehicles. The one thing it lacks though is haptic feedback, which is something you like or you don't like. Personally, I enjoy it, but the touchscreen response is very, very good. In reality, I don't need an extra piece of feedback to let me know if the system has recognized my input or not. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard with this, of course. Now, to go from an A4 sedan to an A5 coupe, you have to pay about $4,000 to have those 2 doors taken away from you, and then an additional $800 on top of the A5 coupe to then have those rear doors added back on for the Sportback. And there are a few pieces of standard equipment that come with the A5 that you can't get in the A4. For one, larger 19-inch wheels are standard, although the model I'm testing out has the 18-inch wheels with the all-season tires wrapped around it, so ignore that. But the other things, the standard matrix LED lights, as I said earlier, and what Audi claims is a panoramic sunroof, but frankly no more than just the front occupants will be able to take advantage of this glass up here. So that's something. But with the Sportback, yes, it is a 4-door coupe, but it is also a hatchback. So there's some great amount of added features that you can get in this vehicle that you can't with the regular A4 sedan. For one, all of the seats fold down with a very flat floor, so if you ever needed to carry quite a large item, you're more likely to be better off in this than you would be the regular A4 sedan. Now, of course, the A4 has the all-road version, the wagon version. Now, that could be the more desirable option for many individuals and car guys like myself. But if you want something that has a little more styling intent, I think you should really consider what this A5 Sportback can do. Now, with it being a coupe, there really isn't much space in the back for me to sit behind myself. I'm 6'4". Up front, I'll have a good amount of space to be comfortable, but sitting behind myself is a bit of a challenge, and there is quite a substantial drivetrain hump in between the two outboard seats. So really, I don't think there's going to be many circumstances where you're going to want to put 3 passengers abreast back there. But that gives you the advantage to fold down the middle armrest, and you get to see just how lovely and over-engineered those rear cup holders are. What's it like driving this A5? Well, as I'm sure you know, the A, the S, and the RS models of how Audi stacks their performance credentials is very much intact with this model. It's elegant, it's refined, it's relaxed. You do have the joy of having quite a little bit of turbo thrust when you need to get a move on, but it's hardly going to excite you, and this car is very far from feeling like a sports coupe. The biggest issue I have with driving this Audi is that the seat is too high for someone as tall as me. I wish the seat could go significantly lower, because even though the position that I have right now, I can easily look over the dashboard, I can easily look over the bonnet, it doesn't really put me in the state of mind that I'm in a vehicle that's meant to have a sportier characteristic to it. But that is very much a personal issue with my body type, and it's a constant problem that I'm trying to find resolution in. The 8-speed transmission is quick and refined, and you have the ability to change the gears yourself with these little plastic paddles behind the steering wheel, or with the joystick controller down here. But quite frankly, I don't ever really use it. There is a dynamic mode with this A5, and all I've really noticed is that it makes it a little more eager to get off the line, but there's no adaptive suspension changes, doesn't have any kind of system like that. So how I'd like to see this vehicle is, again, elegant and refined and happy to just waft you along. Following that note, this is an incredibly quiet vehicle. One of the things that pretty much all coupes or any vehicle that doesn't have a full seal around, because the A5 has frameless windows, is that there's quite a bit of wind noise and not as much isolation from the road. But someone obviously forgot to tell Audi about this inherent problem, because it is flawless on the highway, unbelievably quiet. I'm really quite impressed, so well done to you, Audi. With that though does come another problem, in that with the rear seat space, the rear glass barely goes down at all. The steering is lifeless and has a little bit of dead space here in the middle of the steering wheel where you'll move and nothing really happens. But this is just how Audi does things. They want to separate you from the harsh and horrible concrete of which you have to drive on every single day. There's only one part of the A5's driving experience where I think they could massively improve it, and that's where it feels quite bouncy. From time to time, I think it just overreacts to small bumps and uneven surfaces. But that really does conclude everything I want to say about the A5 Sportback, and yes, it has opened up my mind to think that this is a vehicle that does belong in the A5 range. It's for people that want the practicality, they want the style, and they want something a little more unique as well. So let's park up and finish up this video. And so that concludes everything I want to say about the Audi A5 Sportback. The 2020 model year updates are minor, but at least it gives me an opportunity to talk about this car at length. And like I said, if you want that mild hybrid technology that's coming next year, hold your horses and wait for more information to come out on those vehicles. But quite frankly, I think the A5 Sportback is a vehicle that you should consider owning if you have a little extra cash to spend, because at the end of the day, the A4 sedan is going to carry the same amount of people, pretty much the same amount of things as well. But if you're looking for a vehicle that has a little more style, a little more uniqueness, this could really be the compact sedan slash coupe for you. So that's been everything from me. Thank you so much for taking the time to watching this video. Many thanks again have to go off to Glenmore Audi that were able to lend this vehicle off to me for a couple days. All of their information is linked down below. And of course, if you wouldn't mind liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that good stuff to help me out on this channel, that does the world for me. Thanks again. Hope to see you around here soon.